Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, and other. It's me, Daniel Sloss, of Netflix fame and of fucking your mum fame. Welcome to the podcast, Lost and Humphreys on the Road. Today's episode we talk about shite. Enjoy.
Is that it?
Aye.
Is that the intro?
I forgot what we spoke about. It's hard to remember. Biting toenails and picking noses or whatever.
Like and subscribe.
Sloss and Humphreys on the road.
Muggins and cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
That's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Are we in the same seats?
That's hack.
Ah, muggles.
Accidental rim job in the park.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Or am I just being cynical?
Muggled it up on fucking Mugglepedia.
Where have you been since 9/11?
That's a toenail, that, Daniel.
It's not my toenail.
Well, I've just come in here and you went, get your gross nail off there.
Aye, because you've got your big, long witch nails.
And like Cinderella, I tried the toenail that you put in my hand on every single finger. It wasn't rough any of mine. I've just come in, I'm in your studio.
I'm going to check my nails here. That one looks a bit broken, but Nah. Because this wouldn't be a place I cut my toenails in bed to annoy Cara.
But it's your studio. Who else is in here?
Al.
Yeah, the guy you're doing your audiobook with.
Aye, and then
Your
all the
producer.
all the tradies as well.
They...
So it might be a tradie toenail. Go and taste it. See if it tastes like fucking. See if it tastes like a tradie toenail.
Well, it's yours, isn't it?
It's definitely not. Man. As someone who, I'm very open about the fact that I used to bite my toenails when I was younger. Until fucking last year I bit my nails. I'll admit my fucking grossness. I know the look of my toenails.
Aye.
Aye.
You're doing that?
I could pick them out in a lineup.
Is that like another smell of
To be
your
fair,
farts? It wasn't one of my farts.
Aye,
You'd know about it if it was one of mine. Is that one of them?
First of all-
I would know if it was one of my farts, but it was you.
First of all, that's what you do. That is your main defence. I know my own farts.
Aye, that's how I know my enemy. that's how I'm aware of what you're doing.
Do you not have any fucking rancid habit? Because it's only now.
I do pick
when I was-
toenails and I do pick nails. I
You
just
pick
have
them?
Eh?
You pick them.
What I do, I cut like a little ridge in with another nail, and then neatly pick them.
Is that not sore? You're not worried that it's just going to fucking...
Oh no, I'm surgical with it.
Oh, right, okay. You've got steady hands.
I've got steady hands. I've been doing this for years.
Oh, no, see, I used to love biting my toenails, and I'd love to say the reason I stopped, right, is because I got to, my teens and I realised that my parents were right, that was a disgusting habit. I lost the flexibility. And also...
Couldn't get your foot up there anymore.
Also, do you not remember? So remember, I used
Just
to have...
your lips puckering towards them.
just kissing, sucking them in, right? I used to have the...
Like me trying to suck me dick in the factory toilet when I was 15.
See, now this comes up a lot.
I know, that's why I referenced it rather than telling the story.
But no. But I mean, people always go, if you could suck your own dick, you would. And you go, I absolutely would not. My want to have a blowjob does not outweigh my desire to never have a cock in my mouth, even if it's my own cock.
So is it a compromise to have one in your hand? Because it doesn't feel like when it's my own cock in my hand, I didn't feel the revulsion of if I'd grabbed one of my pals' cocks.
No, but that's because I'm grabbing my dick and I can watch a porn. If I'm sucking a dick, you can hardly... if I'm sucking my own dick, you can't really change the view.
Aye, iPads for your phone.
Wait, oh, right, sorry. I thought you meant like an eye mask. That way it feels like someone else's dick.
Sometimes I sit on my face for 5 minutes till the guy's dead and then it feels... Here's the disgusting habit I've got. You just drink out of my bottle. Oh, no, we've got the same bottle.
No, first of all, you copied my bottle, and second of all, the different tops.
I mean, first of all, Natalie bought me this.
But only after you were like, I need a water bottle, and this was one that Cara got me for Christmas, and you went, that's quite a good one, I'll get exactly that one.
They've got little clicky things, haven't they?
No, they do.
Listen. That means I've had one bottle. That means I've had two, and even though I haven't, I feel good about myself.
Just that wee click.
Here's the revolting thing that I do. And I've been trying to do it less in recent decades.
Aye.
Sometimes I eat my bogies.
Oh, God. How old? That stops when you're 10.
That's why I said I've tried to do it less in recent decades. Like now I'm much more... I plan ahead much better.
Right.
Right, here's planning, right? You're in the cinema. Right.
I'm already sad for the amount of times I've been sat in a fucking theatre with you.
Exactly,
And I've obviously
right.
been watching the movie.
No, this-
God, you want any popcorn? No, I'm stuffed. No, this one's sweet. No, I wouldn't mix with the salty. I'm all right.
Can I have some of yours? Dip me hands
Your
in.
grotty fuck. How are they sticking to your fingers so easily? Do you have like Spider-Man hands or something?
It's like something off Home Alone 2. So, sometimes you'll just end up with a bogey on your finger,
Right.
and it's like
Don't you dare tell me there's nowhere else to put it.
there's no dogs whacking around that you can feed it to.
No babies that you can rub on the back of the scalps.
Aye, there's no tissues. Like
Nah, it's not there. You can't pretend to grab her arse and just smear it up the back. Aye.
Aye, so like that's why I use the cinema as an example. It's like sometimes you'll be in a spot, like on a train or something, and you're on the train. I'm not gonna This is where I'd rather line. I'm not gonna rub a bogey on the seat of a train.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not gonna-
Why not?
What?
Why the fuck not?
Because it's fucking disgusting.
More disgusting than eating a bogey.
Aye, but that's disgusting to me, not to somebody else.
Right, So wait, hold on. Are you trying to paint yourself as some sort of ethical fucking animal?
I eat my own bogies because I'm a fucking saint.
No, I'm not having it.
Look, if I've got a bogey on my finger and there's nowhere to put it,
There's
and
always
like,
someone- there's
no
always
way I
someone
can
to put-
excuse myself, like, you know, if I'm in a job interview or something. And I'm just like, I look at the window and I'm like, oh, is that a cat? And then as soon as I look at the cat, I eat my bogey, and I'm like, tell you what, I could put in this job for deception.
Oh, no, man. Even if you're in fucking space, if you're floating in space and somehow you're surviving without your helmet on, there's still somewhere to wipe a bogey. Put it on a passing comet or whatever. There's no reason. I'd rather you shoved it up your arse.
I never thought of that. Like, that's a really neat idea. Like, belly button would probably be a good middle ground. Like, store it for later.
Oh, my
Until,
God.
store in your belly button until you've got a tissue.
Oh, I can't. Just picking your boogers and putting them inside of your fucking belly button. And then, is that lint in your belly? Pff, I'd be so lucky.
I never put it in my mouth after I'd rolled it around with my fingers, though. Because then it would have the dirt off my fingers.
Oh, I'm gonna be sick, man. This is a horrible. Can't sing a song. I prefer those entrances to the fucking podcast.
My name's Muggins, your name's Cream. We're straight thuggin', we're living the dream. And that's our remix. Because if you roll it around, see, the thing is, right, it's come from up my nose, right? Like, you ever hocked a phlegm? Mm-hmm. Like, it's in your face already. You're just putting it back in your face quickly. Like, 5-second rule.
No, it's just
5-second rule, put it straight back in.
Do you know who else fucking picks their nose and eats it? Right? Do you want to know the company?
No, don't get me wrong. I don't pick my nose and eat it. It's not my like go-to thing. Like, I don't go, ooh, a bogey, I'm gonna have that now. Yum yum. I'm like, oh fuck, this bogey on my finger.
I might as well eat it.
I did not plan ahead. Right, that's that problem solved.
It's so gross.
And look at my immune system when am I ever sick?
Maybe you're just constantly sick. Maybe you're just constantly ill because you've got the company that you keep. You know John McCrinnock.
Oh, right, that the horse racing guy.
He did one season of fucking Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother way back in the day. Was an absolute cunt. His wife's got big tits, and it's his only. He's like, my wife's got big tits. What's her name? I don't know. That tits above the tits. Just one of those fucking balls to the wall. Set them to 11 Tories.
Aye.
He's one of them. That's your company.
That's not there. But the thing is, I'm not pursuing it as lunch. Like it's a quick solution.
Don't you dare try and pitch this as a life hack.
I'll plan ahead, like for the most part. But sometimes, you know, if you just rub your nose and you're like, oh, there's a big greaser on. No, there's not. It just solves all your problems in that moment.
I really feel like it doesn't.
Oh, you probably don't piss in the shower either, eh?
Of course I piss in the fucking shower. I'm not...
trapped you? Yeah, that's disgusting.
Well, now, here's an interesting point. I think, as a bloke, it's fine to piss in the shower, right? You can aim for the fucking plug hole.
Aye. You can aim for anything, the lights, the wall.
Whoever else is in there.
I play like, you know, that fucking shooting ducks, At the fair, like that with the shampoos.
I was going to say, where'd you get the ducks?
That's in the bathtub.
We'll get onto this in a bit, but we're watching The Circle, right? Which
Yes.
we'll talk about in a second. How much
I'm more ashamed of that than the bogies thing.
the fact that you like reality TV now,
Not just like it,
you love it.
yearn for it. Because I have been immune to that shit for so fucking long. In Natalie and Kat watch it, right? I would, like when I lived in London, it wasn't just me and Natalie. Kat was there as well. She's a producer for me in Chelsea, right?
Aye.
That's her industry. And they fucking live for that shit. She worked on Love Island. She was out in South Africa for the last season working on Love Island. Like, they live for that shit, right? And even though I'm immersed in that world and I'm like fucking 1 degree of separation from fucking Jamie Lang and all that, right? Like, there are these people from, what's it called? Chelsea and Love Island.
Towie and aye.
Yeah. I've just got no... It means nothing. It's wasted on us. It's absolutely wasted on me that I'm in that flat.
Aye.
Because people want to pick Natalie and Kat's brains when they see them. They're like, oh my God, tell me about this. What happens behind the scenes with that? And I could not give less of a fuck.
And you've always been that way. And the entire time I've known you, because I've always been very open for that. Man, I love some garbage television, and I acknowledge it as garbage television. I do enjoy Love Island because it's such a nice, healthier way to channel your hate. Instead of trying to fucking repress it, right, and bottle it up and put it in someone else, watching shite television and judging strangers, which is wrong, but from the comfort of your little living room where you don't tweet them fucking death threats, it's a real catharsism.
Yeah, you like disliking people though.
Oh, I love hating people.
I like to see the best in people, and I find it really hard to watch these shows because I find it hard to see the best in them.
So, the other day, me and Cara were making dinner, and by that I mean Cara was making dinner. And not because that's her job, but just because she's an infinitely better cook than I am. And I was like, immediately, front page of Netflix, new reality TV show. And I was like, right, this looks piping hot fucking garbage. Exactly what you and me are into, Cara. Let's give this first episode a go. And it's a show called The Circle, which is essentially a bunch of people go into separate rooms. They never meet each other. They have to create an online profile of a picture and a status. And they can talk to each other as much as they want, but only through this profile thing. But here's the catch. Some of them are pretending to be themselves. They're models, they're beautiful people, and they're putting up their own photos. But there's other people who are using other people's photos, more attractive people's photos, but they're being themselves through the person to try and prove that, people do judge people on their looks. And if I was beautiful, I'd command a lot more respect. And there's also some people just being like, fuck it, I'm here to catfish. We're about 10 minutes in, and you come in, right, and you've got your typical fucking face on when it comes to reality. Was this shit, and I explain it to you, like, all right.
Selling Sunset, what we got this time? What's the angle that they're coming at?
Love is blind, what's the thing? They love each other.
Married at first sight, there's an angle that's got the same fucking conveyor belt of people in. It's muff.
Aye. How long did you last before you were?
Oh, it was the big black lesbian.
Karen, who was playing Mercedes.
Who was playing Mercedes. Absolutely taking the piss out of a lot of them, right? And she was like, she was being herself in the circle, right? But her picture was a pretty woman. She was just like, I want to see how people receive me as a pretty woman if I just be myself. And she's just fucking roasting them. So I was like, oh, she's saying our internal monologue.
Yep.
And she spoke for us. So it was the first time I felt like I'd had a voice in one of them. Type in one of them scenarios.
And it was a big black lesbian.
And my voice is a big black lesbian. And I was like, oh, somebody's like speaking from my from me on the outside looking in. And I was like, that's what got us in. And then I fell in love with Shooby.
Shooby.
And he's too pure for this world.
Aye.
And we need to protect him at all costs.
Yep. And also, Joey.
Oh, Joey's character arc. Oh, I didn't expect a character arc.
This guy comes in, he's your typical New York Italian. Hey, I'm walking here. I love my mum. I like a pizza pie. All that fucking shit. He wears his fucking face mask. He goes to the fucking gym every day, and you instantly.
He's definitely a Me Too. Somebody's hashtag's been about him. So it's hard to like him knowing that he's probably been somebody's anonymous hashtag.
Aye. But
from what you see of him, he's got enough redeeming features for his abrasiveness.
And then him and Shuby's character arc, their friendship's very fucking pure. And then also one of the best bits where there's a guy in there pretending to be his girlfriend. So he's obviously played a girl. And then there's another guy in there who's married, but he's pretending to be a more attractive man. And one of the finest bits of television I've ever seen, which is the perfect commentary on social media. They both got a date with each other.
And they're trying to turn each other on. Two married men.
Trying to turn each other on.
Two married men. One is a buff man, and the other one is his wife, is his own wife, who he's playing as single.
And they're both and they both think they're nailing it. They're like, I've got her right where I want her. And you go, you're flirting with another bloke. Piping hot garbage, get it into my fucking face.
They're making tits to themselves, and it's like... I've tried to pitch it to myself now. I've tried to like spin this. This is the one thing I can't spin, man. I can't spin why I like it. But my one pitch has been like, I'm watching a game show. It's a really exciting game show that like the fucking playing field changes all the time.
Aye, because there's people who do very well by playing themselves, like fucking Shuby, but then that can come and bite you in the ass. Anyway.
And then they get to go and visit the room of one person, only one person. So you're like, if somebody's a catfish and they're going to get visited by someone that... has been flirting with them.
They can go in and check and
they can go in and find out that girl they've been flirting with is actually a bloke.
It's just very satisfying.
And you're about to watch a car crash and you can't not watch that?
Aye. So they had a question on the show when they were just sort of getting to know each other in one of the fucking chat rooms that they've got. And one of the questions was, never have I ever pissed in the shower? And a bunch of the guys said yes. And one of the girls said yes. And here's where I'm wrong. But I went, eh.
Like spray everywhere.
No,
it was just come out like a fine mist.
I just feel like as a bloke you're aiming down the plug hole, but as a girl it's just dribbling down the side of your legs. Now obviously I understand you'll be...
I think they could also aim, but it's going to be much more of a hip rotation for the aim. Because like, I mean, I've done stand up on this, but it's fucking high pressure pissing compared to men's pissing. Now it's just fucking flops out the end, right? Like, I mean, we can put a bit of pressure on if we're tense. But
if I need, I could cut it down.
But we'll last as soon as like letting down a tyre of a truck.
Aye. And the more vicious it is, the more it sprays. It's very like a fucking squid escaping its...
Do you know that? Do you know if it's got a spread? Or do you know if it's like a tight focused laser beam type? Like that?
I think it depends on how angry they are.
So if they're stood up, like as long as it's got like a narrow point when it hits the deck, they could definitely aim that. But if it's got like a sprayed point when it hits the deck, if it's like got a cone range... Like, I don't have a cone range, no matter even if I piss at my weakest, right? It's not a cone range, it's like a fucking...
A dribble.
Like, it's like a line. Like, if they can piss in a line, they can definitely aim for the drain.
Maybe they can... Well, I've not watched many women pee, to be honest. Not that they know of.
I haven't even on the internet.
Nah. I've never... I mean, I've definitely watched pissing porn, but only because I was watching a porn... And then they started peeing on each other. And I was like, whoa, hey, that's a long cum shot.
Now I need a wee. Like, you know when you yawn and your dog yawns.
Look, if you're into pissing porn, you know...
Gargle it.
Well, no, not what I was going for.
Say knock yourself out with it.
But that's a heavy flow. Now, here's the question. Do I think... peeing on someone and being peed on is worse than picking your own nose and eating it? That's definitely a porno.
Or picking your nose and eating it?
It's gotta be.
Eating each other's bogies porn. This is something that's like, it's platonic. There's nothing sexual about it. There's nothing to fetishise.
I don't know, man. People masturbate to some weird shit. And by people, I mean me.
Do you?
Oh, yeah, you know, fucking coke lying at 4 in the morning when nothing normal's working and you just go, you know what, let's see what I'm into at this time of the morning.
Aye.
That's why, in all honesty, I love when Drunk Daniel deletes his browsing history. I'm not worried that Cara's going to find it. I just don't want Sober Daniel to know what I did. Like, it's so nice of me. I wake up and I'm like, I definitely had a wank last night. What did I wank to? Delete it all. Thanks, man. Must have been dark. Just hiding the truth from myself.
Yep, no, I've got to type in the whole of Pornhub. Just pressing P won't do anymore. Got to go back to typing in the whole thing. I've never been pissed on. I've never pissed on anyone. But all I would need to do is ask. Like, I've only not done it because it's not my thing.
Aye.
But I've just been like in positions where it also hasn't been theirs. Like if somebody wanted to,
If Natalie wanted,
somebody, it's my wife.
no, let's put it out to the general public. We can turn it into like a competition.
I was being hypothetical about my life up until this point. If
Right.
somebody had asked me to piss on them.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure now Natalie won't.
Right.
She would have to take a random just midlife crisis in the next 10
No,
years.
maybe she's been holding it in this entire the arch, not the piss. Maybe this entire time she's just been like, can't do it because there's just not enough privacy. We've lived in a flat in London with cats, it's going to make a mess. Moving to a new place soon. What if she's like, you know, hey, there's a bath in there. I'd really like to piss in your face.
To our own place. I don't feel like we're not really expecting anybody else to walk in, or there's nobody else in the house. Nobody else has got to use this bathroom. It might be a thing. I should. So Natalie, heads up, and I listen to this if you want. I mean, I'll show more enthusiasm at the time. I'll definitely get into the whole fucking game of it and all that. But like,
Aye.
but it's just not my thing to pursue that.
Fair enough, but I'm always worried with that. Like, thankfully I don't have... Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be like I'm just a saint that only watches fucking lesbian porn. I'm not going to get into the details of shit. But there's some stuff I know that I like watching that I'd never actually want to do in real life.
Aye.
And the big thing as well is...
I watched a porn the other day where there was 2 dicks in the girl's mouth.
Aye.
And they were touching and all that. And I was like, I watched it. I'm not doing that.
You're not bumping fists for the end of your dicks?
Fucking Matty's would be soft.
So I was thinking...
Just a soft jelly cock pressed against my hard cock.
turning into a mould of your cock. So if you come in as soft cock, it actually turns into a full cummy mould of your dick.
I probably wouldn't touch cock's leg, but I'd watch it.
I always worry like that, like, even if they're, like, because Cara occasionally goes, you know, she's like, is there anything else you want to try? And I'm like, look, there's a bunch of stuff in my head, but for the sake of our relationship, that's where it stays. Like, because the thing with fantasies is difficult. Sometimes fantasy is everything you fucking want it to be.
Uh-huh.
And then sometimes you're just pissing on your girlfriend's feet. and you're just there shaking the dregs off. You've ruined her fucking toenails and you're like, oh, we can't take this back now.
Aye, should we watch telly?
It's like, go wash your feet. I tell you what, I'll definitely buy you one of those foot baths, those pedicure things, because that's...
You got into one of them fish pedicures and they're just swimming away trying to jump out. Is there anything like, cause this is a good time if our partners listen to our podcast, you can call them out on us if there's something that you're into that you've not given a shot.
No, Cara's very, very open, and she's also, when she's drunk, she's a problem.
Eh? Expand more on that.
Cara gets those.
Or should I bite you and scratch you and all that?
No. But just there's some things when she's fucking steaming, right? And again, like in the same way that I said, you know, when I'm
She's got a Scottish accent now, so she's asking for like big Aberdeen steamer on her chest and back. And like, whoa.
No, but you know the same way that I was saying, like, when I'm drunk or I'm on gear and I have those fucking horrible deprived flags at 4 a.m, right? Yeah. She's not there for me having those, but because she doesn't fucking watch porn, for when she gets that horny, when I get that horny and drunk and fucked up, I'm like, I'm going to do this in the privacy of our own bathroom and get rid of it. Whereas she's very much like, fuck, I'm just going to do this with my boyfriend because fucking he'll do it. And obviously she's correct, but she's definitely... She said some things while drunk would have been like,
that you can't repeat.
No, I can't even repeat them to her in case she meant them.
She's like, oh, you big black bastard. Like, whoa,
hey, Cara, man, come on, hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on Coldplay. No, there's definitely been times where she just went,
spit on me tits.
I'd spit on her tits. I'd do that. It's alright to spit on people, that's fine.
So
some people are proper.
What ballpark is she in and that's just saying to you?
No, she's... Tell you what, it wouldn't put you off.
Eat me bogies, you daft cunt.
I've stored them up my arse.
I'm not lacking out, mate. From you know what, Natalie, she'll not thank us for talking about this. She gives us just enough ass over the years to pique my curiosity. You know what I mean? She shuts us up. She's like, hey, you can.
No, as you see, for me,
She'll fucking hate us for talking like this.
Carol hate us too.
She's a princess.
Aye. Well, they can talk about us on their podcast.
Grew up and did one.
No. Cara's is like I think Cara's like you. I could say anything to Cara, and because she loves me, she'd be like, if that's what turns you on, that's what turns me on. I'm into that, and I'm like, thank fucking God. I'm slightly tame then, because this would otherwise it would turn into a gay relationship. That's why I think, right, and sorry, feel free any homosexuals who want to correct me on this, but that's why I think gays are dirtier than heterosexuals, right? Because normally in relationships, traditionally, right, it's the man that's a pig and he goes, I want to do this, and the girl's like, oh, only on your birthday, only on Christmas, only on this, right? If you're in a gay relationship, you're just one-upping each other in more sense than one. Oh, there's no stopping. There's no stop. Imagine if we all, us and the goats.
And there's a disproportionate amount of gay men I know that are not prudish and are actually savage the way they talk about sex compared to heterosexual women who I speak to. It's disproportionate. Like gay men seem to be way less prudish.
Well, of course, aye. And also, like, is that I remember once being with Craig Hill, and it was years and years ago when I was single, and we were out in Australia, and I was just talking. I'd banked the night before, and he was like, "How was it?" He's like, "I'd love to hear about it. I love, And I'm like, "Are you sure?" And I'm telling this sex story where it's just me and this girl, and we have like sex on a balcony or whatever, and I'm like, that's my version of like, I don't think anyone could have seen us. And I'm like, I'm sorry if this disgusts you. And Craig Hill just full houses me. It's fucking straight flush. Every story he's got is way better. I'm like, oh, they've got the best sex stories in the world. Because
and I think that's what I was getting at, because I feel like I used my language wrong there by saying women are more prudish than gay men, right? I didn't mean prudish. I mean, like, if you speak to most heterosexual people, the stories like peak at a certain level. So even if they are like kinky as fuck, like that is still more prudish than the stories I get from my gay friends.
Aye.
Like they're fucking through the roof.
What we're trying to say is gays are gross, but in like a positive, not in that fucking Christian way. Like, look, it's something to aspire to. Like every time I think I've been filthy, I mean, that's the thing. No matter how dark or awful the porn I occasionally walk while drunk, it's nowhere near as those sections I'm not willing to click on.
He has a better way to wear it. I think I'd be a filthy straight bloke, but a vanilla gay bloke.
That's exactly it.
What I was trying to explain with the things I was saying.
Aye. In the heterosexual world, we're quite filthy. And in the gay world, we are the most plain Janes in fucking existence.
I really had to up my game.
Man, we might as well be wearing little fucking Catholic suits compared to... We just wouldn't fit in.
I'd be tipping up with my fucking aneurysal going, me bum sore. Getting a little bleed. Can I be on top? Aye, taking the top off after that, got a little bit steamy.
Well, I've got, because obviously our
You got another hoodie on.
Yeah, our heating's fucked until tomorrow, but it's been fucked since before Christmas.
Apart from in this room.
Apart from in
so
this
you're
room.
wearing your clothes from the room without heating, in the room with heating.
And it's, but it was just one of those things. Literally 4 days before Christmas, our heater broke. Before the plumber, he's like, "Man, look, if you were 75 years old, I'd bump you up to priority number one. I saw your fireplace. Just deal with it for the time being. Like, nothing's... There's
You've got a log fire.
Aye. There's people out there whose boilers... You're not the only person with a broken boiler, but you're the lowest priority of people with a broken boiler.
You're the warmest person with a broken boiler.
Aye. And it's not going to affect you too much, which is absolutely fucking fair enough.
I think as well, because I've been living down in London, I forgot how cold winters are in Scotland, and I have lived up here a couple of times, so they're familiar. But I've spent so many times where I've been away for the Christmas over in the last few years I've done holidays in like South Africa and stuff over the Christmas, and I've been in London, which is fucking noticeably different. It's like there's such a fucking difference in temperature between London and Scotland.
It does get well, and then there are Scandics and Icelandic people listening to this laughing their
Yeah.
Do you remember that first fucking
Iceland trip
to Iceland?
I didn't know that could happen. Wrapped up fully warm, as thick as you can get,
Aye.
and you feel all right, and then the wind blows and cuts through every layer.
Right through, like literally, I'm wearing fucking like not long johns, but what's like the under lycra running wear sort of thing. A set of fucking jammy bottoms
Yeah.
and 2 pairs of jeans. Right, you're in the hotel, you're like, this is overkill, and you step outside, and fucking old man winter grabs your balls and goes, "Did you think I didn't know these were there?"
It cuts like a
I tell you
knife.
what, these go up in your fucking throat.
Natalie's dad used to work in minus 42 degrees Celsius.
Jesus.
In Siberia.
Fucking hell.
It's fucking insane. That was well, I watched the documentary, The Perfect Planet. No, it was Precious, the new David Attenborough one.
Oh, I didn't know there was one.
Oh, there is one. It's good. And there was one where they went in to shoot some footage of Arctic wolves hunting at night. You know how they get like the 24-hour like night times in their winter. So they're in the Arctic winter, and it was minus 50. And Bobby announced that he'd never been in that temperature, but he'd been at minus 42.
That's the stuff where you see the
Fucking
videos of like
insane.
people fucking eating like noodles outside, and they lift the noodles out the bowl and then they let go, and the noodles are frozen, and the fork they were holding is also frozen in there. It's a place where like if you crack an egg, like by the time it gets down there, it's fucking frozen. Mad.
His fucking stories from work are wild, man. Like I've been chatting to Natalie's dad because he worked as a seismologist. Look, like not
Which is, so, but for those that don't know, it's someone who basically works out how big women are.
he's a seismologist. And, yeah, it's working with vibrations, usually with earthquakes and stuff. You would associate seismology, but his was with like finding out what's in the land. So he would set off like charges and explosives in the land and measure the vibrations back and decide if there's like gas or oil or anything worth digging for underneath the ground. So he'd be like in a jungle somewhere in fucking Peru or Bolivia or somewhere in South America, right? He was telling
Blowing
us
up the
what-
ground.
And he had to go on this, like just an excursion where he got dropped off in a helicopter, and he had to do some like fucking basic like checking out what he was going to do, like planning it before the team got there. And he was meant to be getting picked up at a specific time, and there was a fucking thunderstorm, and the helicopter couldn't come to pick him up, and he just had to just took her up, deal with that. Like, this is like in the fucking 80s or whatever. He didn't have a mobile phone, or you wouldn't have had signal anyway, even if you had one. And he's just fucking having to deal with that shit. And he's just like in the jungle, just going, right, well, just going to survive here until
Aye.
they know where I am.
Yeah, I didn't realise I was playing a survival game, but here we fucking
Hopefully
are.
they'll come get us. So his fucking stories from work are wild, man.
They land 4 hours later and he's already made friends with a ball. He's really lost his mind. He comes out of the woods, he's got shit smeared over his face, and he's like, "You may call me Umbongo, king of the jungle."
I loves of Ewoks worship him.
Just coming out, I have made friends with the children of the forest. Just
Carrying him on like a...
Well, it seems we left Bobby there for an extra 4 hours. He seems to have discovered a new breed of some humanoid. And the shit on his face does seem unnecessary, but there you go.
It's the custom. So it's a funny one talking to him and your mother. There's not many people in the world that we're talking to that have travelled more than us, but they're definitely two
Aye, my mum's been fucking everywhere.
because they scratch off bits of the map that you wouldn't be able to gig in.
Aye, they're going to places. My mum was the one for years and years and years that was just like, Japan will blow your mind. Japan's it's one of her favourite places, but my mum properly loves travelling. So good for her. Like, now that obviously not now during fucking COVID times, but, you know, her and my dad are just going to fucking travel the world now, done their shifts.
Aye,
Fucking
and
dusting.
she knows the lay of the land. She knows where's good, because there's so many times that's going to be what's good for us when we eventually get to that. Is we've done a lot of travelling, and there's so many places, especially in the last tour that we did, where we're like, oh, Natalie and Cara would love this.
Aye.
Like, especially in the American tour, like there's so many times where I keep mentioning, like, I've got to take you there sometime. Like places called like Texas and that.
San Diego, Boulder.
Yeah.
New
Orleans.
Vegas. I'm telling you right now, once this is all done, first place we're going is Vegas.
Aye, we need a Vegas trip.
I miss Vegas, man.
Great.
It's just fucking... I think Vegas, because neither of us... Don't get me wrong, we've got a lot of vices, but thankfully gambling isn't one of them. Like, we enjoy gambling.
We've got vices that will control.
Aye.
Like, the windows aren't sealed shut for us in Vegas, but I can see why they are.
Aye. You go over there I like our method in Vegas. You fucking sit down, you put $20 in the
Oh,
machine.
it's tight.
Aye.
It's proper
and
tight.
then they bring you free booze corners. Well, it's free booze in the sense that they give you free booze because they want you to stay at whatever fucking table or machine you're at.
Yeah.
And also, and the booze is free. But if you tip
Them nicely,
You tip 'em-
occasionally heavy.
you tip them 5 on the first one, and every single measurement after that will be a double. You tip them 2 or 3 on the next one, and everything after that will be a fucking triple. Hey, you can tip more than that if you're fucking doing well. Go wild, but I miss
And
it.
then just say if you put like $20 in the machine, make that last your round of drinks, and you feel like you've just paid for your drink. So you're just at a bar getting drunk, but there's the off chance you might win a couple of $100, and a few times we have.
Aye.
And we've ended days up in Vegas with all the food, all the booze, just by being cautious.
Aye, but we look mental when we're there because.
Oh, we go
we lose-
$100,000 mad for $100 wins.
Man, that when we won that $450 or $500 at that fucking electronic roulette table when we went to UFC 200, when we reacted, everyone in there thought we'd hit like $1 million. They came over to the table and they were like, I lost 400 on one bet 3 minutes ago from the table I just left, and we're like,
Well, absolutely. The threshold for satisfaction in Vegas with the gambling is so low that we could just have a belt a time on low stakes.
aye. I hope we never lose that.
Aye.
I think that's the real secret because even if even if you've got lots of money, it doesn't matter about winning lots of money. It's about winning money that was never yours. So even if it's only 300 quid, fuck that was 300 quid I'd never have. And also, I could look. If I drop 20p on the floor, I might leave 20p. Right? That's probably not 20p. 10. I'd leave 10. I wouldn't bend down for 10p. I'd leave 10p. Right? But anything over 50 quid's a lot of money. I remember pocket money too much. I remember fucking £5 a week from fucking chores.
I remember scraping change for chocolate bars.
I remember going down the back of couches looking for anything you fucking could just to go up to the corner shop.
I remember when, say if you're on like £7 an hour working at the sports centre and you find a pound in the fucking vending machine, in the lockers. Like, because you're cleaning the lockers and there's a £1 coin that someone's left in one of them, and you're like, I got £8 for this hour.
Great day.
I've just literally upped my wage more than 10%.
Aye, let's not lose that. Quotas on this. Right, should we do some letters?
Yes.
So we were talking about embarrassing things that you've done with, and misguided, ill-fated romantic gestures from your youth, where you don't really know what's acceptable, but also everything you've learned about love you've learned from television and shit, and you're not socially conscious enough to know that you're about to be mortified.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, this person's from Texas. I know y'all say, oh great, I love the fact
All of y'all.
I love that every single one is y'all. That makes me so happy.
Which, by the way, would need the word y'all.
Aye.
Because I say use, or use, but
Use.
use is wrong.
Aye.
Use is definitely,
Y'all.
there's no...
Also, like, the thing I love about Texas is normally we'll go you are to your. Man, they'll stick another word on the end. You're like, you can have fucking 3 of those bad boys together. They'll say something like y'all.
Yeah.
y'all are mad. Y'all are mental. You're like, fucking, I love the efficiency you have here.
Or y'all will.
Y'all will be sorry. Y'all will be sorry. I know you all said boobs were nothing to be worried about, but I actually have a funny cringe moment containing boobs. Excellent. Let's get our willies out.
And I think that when we said boobs are nothing to worry about, that was when somebody flashed their boobs through frosted glass, but it wasn't as frosted as you thought, and our boyfriend's colleagues thought, and we were like, really sound of you to do.
Aye.
That's what that's in relation to.
Everyone loves free tits.
Yeah.
I was casually dating a guy a few years ago. He had texted me saying he was looking for parking by my place and would be upstairs soon. Because I knew this, I put on fancy lingerie and really nice heels to open up the door. Excellent, big fan of your work. A few moments later, there was a knock at the door. At this point, it's important to know it's about 8 p.m, so there should be no knocks except for him. I can already see where this was going. Except when I answered the door, bra, skimpy underwear, garter belt, fuck yes, thigh highs, God yes, and all.
Tie beads hanging out of gerbil in a tube.
Oh, it was not the guy waiting.
Car battery.
It was the UPS delivery man, and even worse than that, my dog ran out in the hallway. So not only did I expose myself to the poor married UPS man, like he gave a fucking shit. I had to run out of
The poor guy.
Oh, God. Yeah, as if he's like, oh, no, this is a terrible view. I had to run out of my apartment hallway to chase my dog wearing basically only stilettos. Oh, aye. He giggled every time he saw me after that night. Of course, mortified is an understatement. Love from Texas, Shelby. I understand why you're mortified, but once again, it's just one of those things where that bloke,
This guy's a jammy bastard.
he's a jammy the way what you've just described to me is fucking class. Like
That's mint, that. That's probably mint, that. That was it. Kat used to come through, like, to grab something from the kitchen, right? And she'd just be in, like, a thong and covering her boobs with her hand. And she'd be like, sorry. And she, like, ran through and then ran out. And I'm like, will you apologise for that? For class.
It's a dead nice thing.
I was proper banging that, man. Cheers, mate.
Aye.
Thanks, mate.
Knocking on the door. Thank you. That is one of my fucking big fears, though, right? And I know it's happening in lots of sitcoms, and it's what put the fucking fear in my head. You know when you ever get, like, room service in a hotel, right? And you got to leave your room service outside the door so they can come pick up your fucking stuff, right? And you're obviously in your underwear because you're in bed, right? You're drunk. And you go outside to put the tray outside. It's never happened to me. But if that door closes behind you and you're just in the hallway with your underwear...
Like when I fucking went for a piss.
Yeah, in Dublin.
Aye. Yeah, like when I went for a piss and I couldn't go downstairs to use the toilet down in the lobby because I was just in my boxers. I pissed in the stairwell like that time.
You walked into what you thought was the bathroom. You shut the door behind you, only to realise it was the corridor.
And then when I'm knocking on the door, I can hear you going, Kai, get the door. It fucking is me.
Aye. Well, Shelby, that's mortifying. I understand why you're mortified, but I promise you, that guy still jerks off to that occasionally.
Don't let that put you off.
Aye.
Hey, man, don't let that put you off doing it again, but I really tugs it over you.
I remember a shocking... Hi, Muggins Cream. I remember a shocking story from my youth. Hold on, I just want to fucking search something for this one.
Do you want me to read it out when you search it?
Yes.
Hey, Muggins and Cream. I remember a shocking story from my youth. I was about 10 and I had a big crush on this boy in my year. I decided to declare my love for him in the form of a letter. Imagine it was with a gel pen and you'd done every letter a different colour.
It 100% was with that. Like, proper that sort of shit calligraphy that kids do. Mind you, and again, did girls in your school have the neatest handwriting in the fucking world?
Aye,
Man, it was every girl I sat beside was like being with fucking Shakespeare and a fucking quill. I'm 30 years old and like I'm keeping a diary every night just because it's like a good way of checking the result. It's fucking chicken scrawl, man.
Did you? Here's I don't know if I'm showing me age here, right, or if it's just a thing. But did you learn how to write with a fountain pen?
No.
Because I got a fountain pen put in my hand before I got given a biro.
Wait, the fountain pen, you have to dip into the fucking
inkwell.
Well,
there was inkwells in the desks. And this is what makes us feel... I've done stand-up about this, so I don't want to go too deep into it, but there was inkwells in my desk, which meant that they were used previously to me. So even though I wasn't old enough to have an inkwell, there was still the relic. Like the old kit was still there in the school. Anyway, gel pens. However, not being a skilled writer, I went to my favourite love song to help me. I spent an hour or so typing out the lyrics to S Club Junior's Only You and passing them off as my own, finishing the letter with the postscript, P.S., asking him not to tell my best friend about it. I must have known how tragic it was. That goes to my theory of when you're chatting someone up, always imagine that your friends can read your texts and their friends can read your texts. Like if it passes the test of their friends and yours, you've got good game.
The fact that everyone nowadays needs to... Screenshots exist, so we know screenshots exist. So always text like you're going to get screen grabbed. Even though it's a treacherous thing for someone to do, right? If somebody screen grabs your stuff and put it on the internet, they are in the wrong for doing that. But, well, not all the time, I guess. If you've been a fucking creepy piece of shit, then you should be called out. But Do you
So,
want?
spent an hour or so typing the lyrics to S Club Junior's "Only You," right? So this is the love letter that Amy wrote.
Okay, so you be the boy that she fancies.
Right,
Let's
so I'm
call
reading
it.
this letter. It's called Ruffle This Shit. Ooh, what's this? It's off Amy.
I thought I'd write it in a letter, as I'm too shy to say it to you. I guess I should have known better, but I don't know what else to do. I'm on my way, no turning back. So take
She's
me
on
in
her
your.
way.
She's on her way.
Oh, fuck. When did you send this? She might nearly be here.
So take me in your arms. Fuck, there she is. And then we'll be right on track. I write these words to you to tell you just what you mean to me. I hope you like these lines. This was written by children. Because I love you even more than yesterday. By the way, I loved you yesterday. No. And all I say to you is true. Will you return to me? I'll wait and see, because all I need is you, only you. And then
And he's just reading it going, is this Shakespeare? Because it feels like Shakespeare. Is she plagiarising the bard?
You held me through the stormiest weather. You're what I need to guide me through.
That's great, because if he hasn't figured out it's a song, right, and he just thinks it's a letter from her, and she just randomly slips in, you held me through the stormiest weather, and they've never even dated yet. She just crushes on him from school.
That's
Not a heads up, by the way, this is lyrics.
I think at that point where you go, fucking hell, this rhymes. There's no way. I mean, unless she phrased it or pitched it as a fucking poem.
Oh yeah, I just broke the lines at different points so that he might not have noticed. The next day, excitement in my heart. I was so hopeful it was going to work. Oh, when you think a swing and a miss is going to land. There's nothing more adorable. I present him with the letter. He proceeds to open it and spend the next hour telling anybody he could find about it, crushing my dreams of us walking off into the sunset.
And him
Ruined. And what?
And him holding her through stormy weather.
Ruined boys for me for life. All my love, Amy.
Oh.
Well, thanks for that, Amy.
Oh, that is a fucking brutal one. God, that's embarrassing. I bet that's one of the ones where you just.
Because would he have known it was S Club?
I imagine. Because
it's not like I felt like S Club 7 were like the more notable hits.
Aye, but
like
who else is watching S Club Juniors? Would you reckon that went under the radar and straight to the adults? S Club 7 is all for the kids, but S Club Juniors for the nonsense. I can't even remember the S Club Juniors.
Nah.
Where are they now?
Don't know. Probably furloughed from Tesco.
Well, let's have a genuine fucking look. Let's
You're going
see.
to find out what the juniors are doing now.
I just don't remember them.
I reckon they're still gone, you know. I reckon they're still like, what I was going to say, they'll be like uni, but because the kids from uni wouldn't have a clue who they were. They might do Butlins, or like, you know when, because I think there's a good circuit for that, for these get-togethers at Butlins. Because I've performed at Butlins before and done stand up, and when I look backstage, it was all like Atomic Kitten and that.
I remember Atomic Kitten
vaguely.
vaguely.
It was all Bewitched. It was bands that would have been big in the past and probably wouldn't sell that well on a tour now. But if you are already there, you'd go, "Oh, Belter, such and such is on."
Right. Oh, well, okay. So here's where the S Club Juniors are now. You ready? Right. Rochelle Humes is 31. She joined the group The Saturdays.
Oh, okay.
So, and then in 2010, she got married to a JLS member, and they got married in 2012. Okay, so she's all right. Fair play her. Stacey Franks competed in the X Factor, made it to the top 6 girls. All right.
So hold on, can she compete in the X Factor? Is that not? Hold on, you've already been fucking packaged and sold, man. Surely it's not a.
Aye, but they could just fucking rebrand her, send her out, Man, and also...
You can't have gone in with previous, can you?
Aye, but you know how Britain's Got Talent and America's Got Talent works,
You
man.
can't have just go, like you're saying Justin Timberlake had gone on with a fucking, like a Groucho Marx mask.
Aye.
You know, I mean, name Schmust and Schmimberlake. Fuck off.
No.
You've already made it.
Aye, but in the same way, you know that every single comedian we know has been approached by fucking Britain's Got Talent, right? And I'm sorry to ruin this, but I think the show's shite, so I don't give a wet hot shit. Sue me to your heart's fucking content. They've got talent scouts that go out there and they say, hey, do you want to be in the next seasons of Britain's Got Talent? We can guarantee you a place in the semi-finals. That's That happens regularly. That's what happens in America's Got Talent.
But I don't think it is like that because it's more like me doing the 2009 So You Think You're Funny competition with my peer group, and then fucking Mickey Flanagan being on it.
Aye.
And you going, what's he doing? What's he doing on it?
Well, I think if you went, it would be like you did a sketch group and then coming back 7 years later and then doing So You Think You're Funny again, but be like, oh, I've not done comedy. I've only done comedy for a year. And you're like, well, nah, you've done stage shit. Aye. Mm-hmm. Right. So she's a cheating bitch. She is married to former footballer Fraser Franks, who played for...
QPR?
No idea.
No.
Doesn't. The fact that they've not even mentioned suggests. Aaron Rantry. He dances now. Frankie Bridge also joined the Saturdays. Oh, Frankie Bridge is married to Wayne Bridge.
Okay.
Frankie from the Saturdays. Yeah. Okay, so she's got...
Oh, wait a minute. John Terry.
Aye.
The one John Terry went with.
No. But no. Like Wayne Bridge's new wife, I think.
Okay.
Aye. Daisy Shelby now works as... I'm so glad I get to tell you this, right? Daisy now works as a successful makeup artist and is married to Newcastle United footballer John Joe Shelby.
No way! What a best club juniors!
This is married
to with John Joe Shelby. Oh my god, I fucking love Shelby now, man.
They've got 2 daughters together.
He's one of the best of a bad bunch.
He's so shite.
Oh man, he just loves houfing it. He boots the ball. He just kicks it hard, and sometimes it reaches its man, and it looks like a search and pass, like a Beckham pass. And then, like his highlight reel would be good, but it takes a lot of them. And he always moves forward. I like that. That's why he loves corners as well. He's like, "What? I can just boot it. I can just go up and just swing my foot at it.
This is
Can I take goal kicks as well?" You're like, "Calm down, John Joe." So he's throwing it up a stairs.
Aye.
Best club junior.
And I don't mean to. And he's not a brilliantly attractive man. Where's John Joe Shelby from?
I wonder why she likes him then. He's English.
Is he?
Aye.
Because he fucking looks Serbian.
Aye, he does, doesn't he? He looks a bit Transylvanian.
Aye, Baltic as shit. Calvin Goldspink got bullied to death because of his name. He owns is a talent booker for the Peppermint Club in Los Angeles, which I'm pretty sure is a strip joint.
Sounds... Aye.
Jay Asfaris now goes by Jay Perry. Ongoing
talent booker, so
he's in Hamilton.
Who is?
Jay Asfaris, by Victoria Theatre, not in the... But he's doing...
Oh, not the one on Disney Channel?
No.
Well.
And then Hannah Richings is...
How many are there? Oh.
Loads. That was
7.
The last one.
I think there's 7.
We'll give it away. Oh, right. So if you want to send us in any of your previous disgusting habits...
mugginsandcream@gmail.com. Or which?
Either disgusting habits that you used to have, like me used to bite my toenails, or disgusting habits that you still have, like reprobate before me, you bogey-picking minger.
Or even if you just want to join the conversation and pick up on something we said, you don't just have to scream into the ether anymore while we're wrong. You can email me. And I do read all of them, and there's a few, like, sorry I can't read them all out on the podcast, or it would be just the podcast. So thank you everybody for the ones I've read but haven't read out.
Look, you know we're good for 35 minutes of fucking material, and it's the other 15 that we need to fill with shit. I didn't even do my fucking Sam Harris rant.
Oh, do you want to do that quickly, or do you want to save that?
No, I'll do it. So, I had a fucking, like, literally great morning.
It's right? The eyes open meditation fucks you, doesn't it?
No, well, yes, eyes open meditation fucks me, but I understand why that happens. The eyes open meditation annoys me, but I can understand why it happens, because in the same way that, like, there's different forms of meditation. You can do walking meditation. You can do meditation while you're eating food, right? It's just about being present in every moment. Make sure that you're experiencing.
So it's showing you how to do it a bit more in reality instead of just in practice.
Aye. Sam Harris, who's meant to be one of the fucking 4 horsemen of the atheist apocalypse, right? Who's meant to go against fucking religion. He's meant to be this fucking free-thinking fucking genius, right? I cannot fucking stand his spirituality, because it's fucking horseshit, and he knows it's horseshit, and he's so bad at explaining it, right? So this morning I had a great morning, right? Woke up a bit late because I finished the book last night, right? Cara dropped me off for coffee at like 9, but I didn't wake up till 9:30. But we've got a great morning routine. Wake up, I make her pancakes, we have breakfast together, fucking great, right? I'm like, brilliant. Week 2 of being sober, I've woken up in a genuinely fucking good mood. Perfect time to go into meditation. I lasted 7 minutes, right, before I had to stand up because I was so fucking angry.
You text me angry this morning.
And look, if I'll take some responsibility, but if your meditation makes me fucking raging, you fucking failed. Don't do that again. He's got this dumb thing, this stupid thing, which is he's obsessed with some cunt that had a mental breakdown on a mountain. So he thinks the guy had a profound realisation. The cunt
Did he
didn't.
talk about this in today's... Because I avoided it specifically as you said. I've done a different one today.
There's this guy, right, he climbs a fucking mountain, he gets up the top of the mountain, and he decides he's got no head. There's no evidence that he's got any head. Everyone else has got a head, but not him. He can see the end of his nose, he can see his fucking lips or whatever, right? He can feel his head there.
I know the guy.
But he doesn't have a fucking head. I've read the book. That's how, because I wanted to know how bullshit it was. I've read it from start to finish, and every single word of it is utter fucking tripe, right? Yeah. It's this... the point is to try and make you understand that, you know, that everything that you experience in your head, it's like storms passing through the sky or clouds. You don't have to pay attention to it all. But here's the thing, right? I have a fucking head. I do have a fucking head. And I know I have a fucking head. And at one point, you have to admit it's an analogy, otherwise I'm going to get fucking angry.
You go, all right then, sir, if you don't believe you have a head, right, I'm just going to smear the shoe polish on it and you go out into society and see what happens. You'll find out fucking pretty soon that you've got a head.
Aye, and if you don't, right? But it's this other thing, right, which is about consciousness, right? And Sam Harris, for some reason, this logical, smart man, seems to think consciousness is not located in the brain, where it's located, and where it's been proven to fucking be located, right? So I'm sitting there doing the meditation, he goes, so, he does that thing of like, while you're judging, or while you're thinking, look for the thinker. And what it's to try and do is to try and separate yourself from your ego, right? To lose the sense of I and me. And I understand that.
And it's like trying to look at the back of your head.
So he's sitting there and he goes, okay, so where is consciousness? Is it behind your eyes? And I'm like, yes. And he goes, okay. If you imagine the top of your head, is consciousness just below that? Yes. That's what I think, yes. And if the back of your head is consciousness in front of that, I'm going, yes. Yes, that's where consciousness is. And he's like, no. Consciousness is everywhere. I'm like, it's fucking not. That's why if I hit you in the fucking head, you're unconscious. If I hit you in the toe, you're not fucking unconscious, right? If you're so confident that consciousness doesn't exist in your fucking head, let me take a baseball bat to it, Sam Harris. Stand there, still, and if consciousness isn't in your fucking head, let me swing as hard as I fucking can. And if you're unconscious, when you wake up, admit you were fucking wrong.
And he's making the police statement going, he hit me in the head. And he's like, I thought you didn't fucking have
Oh, sorry, my bad, you cunt.
You charged me 100 quid to tell us he did that one.
Oh, I fucking I can't stand that bit of like, it's fucking lollipop stick philosophy, right? Lollipop, we go, somebody says something that sounds profound, and because idiots don't question shit, they go, ah. But if you apply 1 second of consciousness to it, you go, well, that's fucking horseshit. Like, man, that's the closest I've ever been to sending a death threat. Right? And if your meditation makes me want to send a fucking death threat, your meditation doesn't work. At least then, take a step back and go, look, this is just a fucking exercise, right? But meditation is meant to be getting out of your own head or sitting with your own head and just existing amongst it. And it's impossible for me to not have an ego while you're whispering lies into my ear.
Can I tell you something I think you might be missing? Is
patience?
Yeah, patience. But you know, if you hear a sound, like a car goes by and you hear a sound, that car's out there, that sound's out there. But you do know the sound is in your head, throws it to over there. And if you see something, the object's over there, but the light hits your eyes builds a picture that you see, and that is also in your head. So everything from the car making a noise to the cabinet over on the wall that you're looking at with your eyes open, all of that's inside your head.
Yes.
So what he's saying is
where my
not-
consciousness is.
So yeah, so he's not saying like the feeling of the thinking of what you're thinking's inside your head, but everything else is outside. Actually, all of it's outside your head. So it's not saying that your brain's not inside your head. It's saying that your head is outside all of the stuff, everything that you're receiving.
Then why does he ask the same fucking 3 questions that he phrases as rhetorical and whisper them in my ear and expect me not to fucking react? It's fucking insanity. It's fucking insanity to be like, you're not in your own head. Sam, I'm wearing earphones. You're in my head. It's all in my head. That's where fucking consciousness is. Science has proven that consciousness is in the fucking head. When you stick electrodes to someone, you stick it on their fucking head. It's not their balls. It's not their fucking dick.
I think they've done a bad job of explaining it, because I think it's saying that all of this is in your, like all of it's in your head, but the feeling of just some of it's in your head, the feeling of just the center of it's in your head, when actually everything that you experience is inside your head. But that's not the angle to come from at all.
No.
So like I'm like trying to pitch form, but that's not actually the angle he's coming from.
So what I would say is I've changed my tack. I used to recommend the Waking Up Act. I now actively do not recommend it. Go to Headspace.
Headspace is good, actually. I done one on Netflix.
I'm gonna
start with that. If people haven't meditated before, he does 10 minutes explanation, 10 minutes of guided meditation, and it was a good one today. It was like the old practice ones that were on Waking Up before he got all weird.
Alright, I'm done with Waking Up. I'm not reapplying next year. The cunt can go fuck himself.
I still like it. I do the other ones, like the Stoic ones, and I've even started on that Headless Way to try and get more of an understanding of what they're on about and that. I still think it's alright.
Talking through their fucking arse, I've got a head. You'll never, ever convince me that I don't have a head and I don't think from my brain.
Nah, but are you just because you're thinking that they're not talking metaphorically?
No, he's not. Because it's so, because he'd go, it's a metaphor, it's a fucking exercise, in the same way that he does with, because he takes moments where he goes, look for the thinker. He explains what that is. The cunt genuinely doesn't think consciousness is in your head.
I always think of myself as one of them teleheads from Saga. You know, the Saga comics.
Aye, Prince Robot the Fourth.
Prince Robot the Fourth. Every time I'm doing the Headless Way one, I'm like, I feel like one of them teleheads, because he's trying to say instead of a head, you've got a space where everything fills. So like all your experiences and feelings and sight and hearing and all that just fills this like perfect space. And you're just a space for it, like where your head would be, where everybody else has got a head. You've got a space where you experience things. And I quite like the metaphor of it. Like, obviously I've got a head, there it is, look, poking it. But the talk about it as if you actually haven't.
Hate it. Spiritual mumble fucking jumbo. People that can't use actual words to explain the fucking concepts of, like, you know what, we'll just do it through guessing shite. We'll just make shite up. He can go fuck himself.
Well, you're really doing a good job off the weed.
Well, speaking of it, this weekend was actually the first time I've not craved it, but like where I've gone, it would be nice now. All last week, there was genuinely no moment where I wasn't fucking reaching for it. It was just the weekend where I was just watching documentaries and I'm like, this would be class high again. I am looking forward to going back to weed, but I think I'm going to try and make it like just a weekend thing, because I am really, now that we've got this fucking office, this studio that we're doing this podcast from, I'm loving Mondays to Fridays because I'm busy.
You've got an office job.
Yeah,
and you can busy yourself with it.
I come in, I stream at certain hours of the fucking day. Me and Al are recording the fucking audio book. I do my emails from here for a fucking bit. And
have you done any writing from it yet?
Not yet, just because I mean, it just feels like
you've got nothing to write for.
Aye. I've got an idea for a fucking... No, I don't. Well, there's a vague idea for a sitcom. You know me, I've just...
Aye. You're getting stuff done, is what you're saying.
Aye.
You're coming here twiddling your thumbs. It's got heating. I'm not doing dry January, but I've gotten this far. I'm not going to be able to complete the whole thing because I'm moving to my new house.
You've got
on Burns Night.
Aye, and
I've got to have a whiskey when I move in. Burns Night, moving to my place in Glasgow.
Aye, I do miss whiskey. I don't miss being drunk, particularly, but I do miss fucking whiskey. We were watching Gone Girl last night, and it's that good rule that you've got, which I like, which is whenever you see somebody drinking whiskey and something, you get whiskey for yourself. They just poured a fucking long measure of whiskey, and and he just looked so happy while drinking it, and I was like, I bet that's class. You know, but apparently, I don't know if this is true, but it's one of those urban myth that goes around. Johnny Depp, who's absolutely fucking teetotal, I think it's Laphroaig, loves Laphroaig so much that whenever he's in Scotland, he'll get dram of it, and he just sniffs it. I caught myself almost doing that yesterday.
He just has a sniff of the whiskey.
He just leaves it under his nose, thinks the flavour, thinks the smell is fucking amazing, doesn't drink it, but it's enough.
I know some people that have stopped smoking that like being around smokers.
Aye.
And I like people that'll just come and have a little passive smoke.
Aye, just come and enjoy it.
I'm 2 days off, 4 months now without a cigarette. Don't even fancy one anymore. Like, it's not even a bother anymore. You've got your snooze.
Aye, and I'm loving them. But I keep saying to Cara, I'm just like, look, this is just, I'm trading one vice for another
This
at
is
the
just
moment.
until you get your weed back.
This is just until I get my fucking weed back. But God, I do love it. I do love it.
Yeah,
Right.
but so far, New Year, 10 days in, and I've 11 days in, I've done press-ups every day, 50 press-ups. I've read a chapter of my book minimum every day. I've actually read 2 books nearly.
Aye.
Because minimum a chapter a day, but I've been binging. And meditated every day, and also drank me 4 bottles of water.
Also, I will
Stop.
recommend the book if anyone's into fantasy shit. Oh, Jesus Christ, Sean Connery, stop possessing me. If anyone's into fantasy shit out there, The Lies of Loch Lomora by Scott Lynch is fucking mwah. Mwah, mwah, mwah. What a book it is.
Oh, and also, I'm part of a book club now.
Aye,
You know that, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, if you want to join my book club, come and meet me on Twitch, www.twitch.tv/Kai Muggins. Aye, Kai Muggins, and you're on Twitch as well. But it's through my Twitch channel, I do a book club.
Your dad wears a bib to eat pussy.
That was drooling so much. Your dad was losing an argument with your mum, so he held his breath until he passed out.
Aye, but if you go to his house, he got the Scalextrics, so so you won the
He
argument.
won the argument. He was losing it until... What you meant to say was until he held his breath.
Your dad walks around on his knees with shoes on them at theme parks, so he's too small to get on the ride, so nobody knows he's scaled.
Scary little boy. Your dad chipped his tooth biting chocolate money to see if it was real.
Then tried to spend it. He was like, well, this is real. Yes, hello, sir. I've got a gold bullion for you. Your dad doesn't pull the bath plug because he thinks that's a waste of water. He just stays there and drinks it all.
Put some juice in.
Linda, bring up the cordial.
Linda, no, not the blackcurrant. Oh, go on then, the blackcurrant. Your dad phoned the police on himself recently for stealing milk off a doorstep when he was 12.
Your dad tried to storm the House of Commons, but he doesn't know where or what it is, so he's currently dressed as a bear inside of a Holiday Inn demanding a recount.
Your dad has a gaping anus, but not from anything sexual. He's just been using those expanders that goths use on their ears.
Your dad leaves little notes in his teeth to flirt with a dentist.
Tiny little ones.
Oh, what's this? Oh, I don't know why you read it.
Just smiling at him expectantly.
Please, TB.
Tick the box, yes or no.
Put it back in, otherwise I won't know. Aww.
Ask me to say if you love me. And the doctor's like, open your mouth really wide, please, sir.
And he's like, aww.
Remember when the fucking barber he got both over the same?
Did he fucking
He
got
got
you?
both.
No, he didn't. Stop spitting.
He got you and then he got me.
Shut the fuck up. He got you, you daft
He
cunt.
got me. He was shaving the sides of my hair, and then he went up in your mouth and up my mouth. I was like, what did you think I was going to do?
Good barber banter, that. Fan of it.
Your dad says, ooh, put me in your suitcase, but not when I tell him I'm going somewhere nice. He says it when I get back and he knows it's gone under my bed.
Let's go watch The Circle.
Aye, let's have a circle jerk.